pharmaceutical companies are the single biggest source of revenue for a lot of media companies, and they're buying the protection with that money.
And that's another perverse incentive, right?
Absolutely. I think we're one of only 2 countries in the world that allow that. Can that be stopped?
That's a question that we are looking at right now, and there's a bad Supreme Court case from a couple of years ago that essentially anointed pharmaceutical advertising with First Amendment protection. The First Amendment protects political speech. So if you're saying something, political, you should have absolute protection under the First Amendment. If commercial speech has a lower level of protection, and the pharmaceutical advertising was regulated as commercial speech, and it was until 1990, really around 1992. It was you didn't see pharmaceutical advertising. There was no direct-to-consumer advertising on TV, and after that, and then there were more changes made in 1997. That's when it became, it exploded. And today, Roger Ailes, who both you and I knew, I had this very Roger Ailes, for your audience who doesn't know him, which I think most of them do, was the founder of Fox News. And I had this odd relationship with him because politically we were at loggerheads, but I had spent, when I was 19 years old, I spent 3 months with him in a tent in Africa. And we developed a friendship then. And as you know, he was he was a very engaging guy. He was very witty, really fun to be with. Very paranoid, but at the same time, brilliant.
Yes.
And so he was very kind to me. He was a very loyal friend to me, and he would make Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly and Neil Cavuto and all of the other hosts, who your former colleagues, put me on TV to talk about the environment. Even though he didn't agree with me on it, he made them put me on. So during the 80s and 90s, I was the only environmentalist who was going on Fox News. But I brought him one time this around, I think it was like 2014, I brought him a documentary that we had done about mercury and vaccines. And he watched it. He was completely sold on it. He had a family member who had been affected, he felt. And he said, but I can't put you on because if I did, if any of my hosts allowed you on to talk about this issue, I would have to fire them. And if I didn't, I would get a call from Rupert within 10 minutes. And he said, for the evening news division, about 75% of the advertising revenues are coming from pharma. And then he told me something that, if I remember it correctly, he said that on a typical evening news show, there are 22 ads, and 17 of those are pharmaceutical ads. And so this was the principal source of revenue. And for a lot of these television networks, it's keeping them alive. As you know, they're all, kind of collapsing financially.
Yes. Collapsing due to lack of popular demand for their presence.
Right.
So could you end that? Do you have the authority as the Secretary of Health and Human Services to say no more pharma ads on television?
Well, a lot of the pharmaceutical ads are misleading.
Yeah.
And even the music and the video, the photos that they show, the scenes that they show that's kind of speech, and it's misleading. It's sending a message. And if you take this drug, you're going to be riding jet skis and playing volleyball and water skiing and
have a great looking spouse,
right?
Happy kids.
The side effects, meanwhile, are rolling, at 80 miles an hour, and that's misleading. And so one of the things that we, that we're looking at is making them be more honest about what they what they show.
Last year, we did an interview with a woman called Casey Means. She's a surgeon educated at Stanford. She's the nominee for Surgeon General right now. She really is one of the most amazing people I have ever met. The interview made me emotional. In it, she explained how the food that we eat, produced by huge food companies in conjunction with Pharma, is wrecking our health and wrecking this country, making it weak and sick. She's the co-founder of a healthcare technology company called Levels, and we're proud to partner with them. And by proud, I mean actually proud, for real. Most of us are not metabolically healthy. Even worse, we're not aware that we're not. We have no idea where our health stands. As we speak now, we don't know how to improve it. With Levels Labs, you'll get insight into your health to help you understand where you are to measure and optimize your well-being. It is the best thing you can do to get a picture of where your health stands and how to make it better. The Levels app works with something called the glucose monitor, CGM. And now the Levels membership comes with a 28-marker cardiometabolic blood test, giving you a comprehensive view of your health with clear guidance on how to improve it. You can also get the extended panel, which gives you an even more detailed view with 100-plus biomarkers, real-time personal data. So you take control of your health for the better. You know what happens when you eat certain things. We just got word that Levels is offering this show's listeners annual memberships with an additional 2 free months through the website. The website is levels.link/Tucker. That's levels.link/Tucker, 2 months free.
So that the public is, this pharmaceutical advertising is insidious for a number of reasons. That's why they don't allow it anywhere else in the world. New Zealand has a very, very limited allowance of direct-to-consumer advertising, very, very highly controlled. Compared to us, it's nothing. People who come over here from England or Europe and watch our TV are shocked by what they're seeing on it. And it's insidious because of this. The pharmaceutical advertisers are advertising the most expensive version of every drug. They're not going to advertise the generics because they're not making any money. So they're advertising the ones that are the highest profit margins for them. And normally, if you see an advertisement on TV, like for Coca-Cola, you then have a choice to go get that, and then you're paying out of your pocket for it. When somebody buys a pharmaceutical drug, it's Medicaid and Medicare that are paying for it. With us, it's the taxpayer. So they're advertising something to the consumer where the consumer has no skin in the game. And then the consumer, and we're paying for the ads because they're tax deductible. So we're paying for them to advertise, and the advertisements are getting people to buy drugs that may be ineffective, that may be the least effective drug of the ones that are available. And they go to their physician. The physician is told by his boss, who's the corporate bean counter, you have 11 minutes with each patient, and that's it. And the physician then can spend that 11 minutes trying to talk the patient out of something that they want, and then the patient's going to go away unsatisfied. Or the physician can just say, all right, you want this prescription, I'll write it for you. And then, that patient is then going to come back because he's happy. The doctors hate it. The American Medical Association has been against it for 30 years. And nobody thinks that this is good for public health. It is hurting us, and it's distorting the markets, and it's not, you can't even call it a free market because everything's paid for by the federal government.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.